The human has been neutralized.
Today we're going to change out the screen on this Game Boy Advance. It currently has the plastic screen that comes with it, but we're going to change it out for this glass screen, which is much nicer. It's more resistant to scratching, and it's a little more clear to view through. It's also got a cool holographic Game Boy Advance logo. In order to change this out, we're first going to have to remove the existing screen. We're then going to apply some adhesive double-sided tape to each side that will keep the new screen from falling out. Before you get started though, you need to realize that it's very easy for dust to get on the screen, and it's very difficult to clean them once they've gotten dirty. So you really want to leave the existing screen protector on until you're absolutely ready to get started to replace the other one. You don't want to leave it off. You don't want to touch the screen at all, especially with your fingertips. It'll leave fingerprints that are almost impossible to completely remove. One way I use to make sure that dust doesn't stay on the screen is by using one of these squeeze bulb blowers. I would say don't use a canned air because it can potentially leave a residue behind on the screen. But if you have something like this bulb blower for cleaning camera lenses and such, that would be the ideal thing to use. In order to take the existing screen off, we're going to use a suction cup like this one. You can buy these at Harbor Freight for about $3, and we're going to apply this to the screen and then lift up gently in order to break the adhesive that's on there. So I'm going to wet this with my with a little bit of spit on my finger here and apply it close to kind of one corner, so that way I can attack just that one corner. I like going from the bottom left. So once I've got this attached, I'm going to try to peel it up, and I'm going to do it kind of gently, and it might take a couple tries before I get it to come up, but I think I feel it starting to crack, and I'm kind of going to go slow. Alright, got one corner. I'll put my fingernail under it in case it wants to fall back down so I won't re-adhere, and just take my time, no rush. Okay, and careful as I pull it across, make sure no adhesive from the screen kind of drips over there. As you can see, I've pulled off the existing screen protector, and I'm left with just the bare screen. And again, we don't want to leave it like this too long, otherwise dust will collect on there. So setting aside the old screen, I'm going to grab the new screen, and on the back there's a protective film on each side, but on the back there's also pieces of pre-cut double-sided sticky tape. This is a special 3M tape designed for adhering cell phone screens to cell phones, and it works very well for this application. So I'm going to try to peel up the piece that's there. So that's our bottom piece, and we just want to set it kind of in the middle towards the bottom. You really want to make sure you don't get your fingers into the screen, so try to work in a way that's going to guarantee that you don't. It might even help to wear some non-powdered gloves, either rubber or nitrile gloves, as long as they're not powdered, to help give you a little bit of insurance that your fingerprints won't end up on the screen. This doesn't have to be perfect. It will work. This tape is very sticky and adhesive, so and before we put the side tape on, we need to look at there are two spots where especially the aftermarket cases, like this is a refurbished aftermarket case, they end up with little mold marks that don't cause any problems when a plastic screen is on there, but with the glass screens they can actually cause the screen not to set all the way down. So if you can see right there, there's a little piece of plastic that can stick up. Take either a knife, or I've got a flat spudger with the side that I'm working on down tilted up, so let gravity help any pieces of plastic that might fall into the screen fall away from the screen instead. Just going to give that a little scrape and make sure there's no no extra plastic. And I want to make sure, make sure not to end up with my tool in the screen. So I'm just going to blow that little waste off there. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to do the other side. Okay, and that one's already pretty flat. And I got a little bit. Okay, so blow that one off, and now we can do the side adhesives. Okay, and as you can see, it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be. There's not any tape there, but it really doesn't matter. It will hold just fine. From the tape on this side, the screen's completely rigid. So just peel away the backings. And then if you need to straighten anything out, you can use your flat bladed tool. Get that set down all the way. If there's any overhang, this isn't really, but it's maybe just a little close, you can pull it a little bit. Here there's a very small string that's kind of gone into the screen. I'll pull it over. And on this one I've gone maybe a little bit too far up on the lip. So I'm just going to press that down. Okay, once our adhesive is in place, we are almost ready to put the screen in. We do want to check for dust before putting the screen in, and use a blow blower or something like that if there is any. Off camera I'll just double check, and I don't really see much, but I'll go ahead and, for good measure, give a little puff there. And I'm going to go ahead and get the old screen and the suction cup and pop it off. I'm going to use the suction cup to pick up the new screen, so I find that sort of helpful. In order not to have to handle the screen, you don't want your fingerprints really on the bottom at all. This way I can definitely hold it from the top and set it where it needs to go. But first we need to remove the protective film off the back. Try definitely not to touch the glass on the back, and you won't have to worry about cleaning fingerprints off. So with that off, I've had a small piece of dust fall into the screen, you can see, and I'll just blow that off. Okay, just line this up. You don't have to worry too much. It doesn't bond instantly, so if you get it in slightly crooked or something, you can go ahead and fix it. But once it's in, give it a good press all the way around the edges. Maybe a little bit of a wiggle, and pop off the suction cup. Okay. Alright. And we're done. Maybe just give it a little bit more work around the edges. Just feel comfortable that it's in there. And peel off the front layer protection, and we're done.